All right, what's going on, family? So, I want to make a video to people that are listening to music that is counterproductive to the building of our culture and our society. So, there are a lot of genres out there that have counterproductive music, and then there is some music from artists that you can take something from and be inspired by. So, it really depends on what type of artist you want to listen to. But when it comes to certain specific genres, there are more songs that are uplifting violence and endorsing the violence from label owners who happen to be older men that are not even part of that community, but they're endorsing young men who are part of that community, and then these young men are actively participating in their agenda just to make money. But it comes at the expense of losing their life or going to jail. And if they do make it, they have lost a lot of life around them, or people have gone to jail around them. So really, at the end of the road, there's not a lot of success on an emotional level, despite what they obtain financially. So let's look at the totality of what these average artists are doing on for most artists are doing on part of today's music. Now, when it comes to music, a lot of people will love the music. They will comment and say, "Oh, this is goes hard." They put fire emojis. But on the other side of that, when we see the totality, when this artist dies, whether it be from drugs or getting murdered, then these people want to say RIP. Oh, this is messed up. They were a real one. But guess what? Nobody's talking about how the mother now is suffering for her baby gone for the rest of their life. Nobody's talking about how they don't have funeral expenses covered. Nobody's talking about how their kids are fatherless now for the rest of their life and they can't see their birthdays anymore, and how that traumatizes the kid. All they talk about is the deceased artist, and look, nothing past that. Nobody's talking about how there's no policies taken out, to be able to cover the family financially, because they got to go create GoFundMe now. So all of these factors are not considered in the aftermath. People are just so caught up in the moment of what these artists are spewing, and then they give them titles like they were so real. Well, what is real about talking about killing your community? What is real about endorsing drugs in your community? What is real about talking about ecstasy and Molly? Like, for decades, it's the same content, but it's just a different flow. It's coming from a different city. It's coming from different artists, and it's the same type of subject. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, well, that's by design because the government made that environment. And I'm not going to lie. There is truth to that. Yes, the government did corrupt and make that, and there are label owners who endorse that and push that narrative onto these kids. But the question goes back. If you don't sign that contract and you take a stand and say, hey, I'm not going to talk about killing my community despite what's going on around me, how can they profit off of that? So who's really killing the community?